Hey, what's happening, CS Tiers? Welcome to the big show. Glad you're with us here this Monday evening. I am Nick Suberling. FC Cincinnati falls over the weekend 5-4 to Montreal in a goalfest up in the Great White North. So we're going to talk about that match, offer up our best and worst, probably drink quite a few shandies this week, even though clearly the shandy magic has finally gone away. But we're going to be talking about this match. Also, a couple of matches for FC Cincinnati. They got a midweek game coming up against Atlanta United, and they have recently made a manager switch. So we'll talk about that. And whatever you want to talk about tonight here on Cincinnati Soccer Talk, we want to hear from you. So if you're watching us live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter, get in touch with your comments. Of course, you can always email us after the fact, feedback@cincinnati-soccertalk.com, or you can hit us up on Twitter as well at Cincy Soccer Talk. Let's welcome in my cast of characters for this week. I welcome back into the show Mr. Stats Man himself, our roster analyst, guru, whatever you want to call him. He is the one and only hashtag Demand Better, Ken Hefter. Ken, welcome back to CST. How are you, sir?
I'm doing all right, Subes. So you're saying the shandy magic dried all up when your weekend was not dry, huh?
No, definitely not.
Maybe we need to drink more shandies when it's not raining. Anyways, yeah, it's good to be back. We'll talk about the Saturday game. I didn't get to watch it live. I was out at dinner and came back and watched it at midnight, and it was interesting. So
yeah, it should be a fun one. Looking forward to getting your thoughts, Ken, as always. We welcome back to the show. It's been a while since he's been on. He is the one and only Brian Weigel. Brian, how are you, sir?
We're doing, pal. Things are happening out there on the interwebs, and we're pushing through. And yeah, I'm just glad to be here and seeing hopefully more progression, I guess we could say. So I was going to talk a little bit about your shandy thing. So according to Yop and all the stuff, we got to keep progressing. So we got to progress to something a little bit finer tasting. So maybe we got to rely on Coach to suggest something lemony and tasty for you that's not lemon shandy. But I know there's like a scrimshaw or something we got to get you to try. And maybe that'll get the progression going for FC Cincinnati.
I actually had another type of shandy tonight at the restaurant we went to. I can't remember. The name of the beer started with an S. It was like a blueberry lemon shandy. Of course, I'm terrible. Can't remember the name of it, but it wasn't very good. But
Coach would kill you with blueberry lemony. He would just kill you right then.
He probably would. But yeah, unfortunately, the shandy magic has finally gone away. But it's not going to stop me tonight. I've popped the top and I'm ready to go. So let's offer up our best and worst. Ken, start us off. Your best and worst from Saturday night.
Best, obviously, we scored 4 goals. I mean, that's simply. I'll take the easy one off the table. That is the best. We scored 4. We got off the schneid of 2 goals with Yop as our leader, as his max goals that we scored. We got 4, so that's the best. For my worst, this team still only generated 7 shots, and it's still a struggle to watch this team offensively. I can sit there and say I can see improvement on things, but still offensively, we lose our way, and some of that is game state, some of that is where we're at, but we struggle when we lead. I mean, we just do. We shut down. So that's my worst.
All right. How about you, Brian? You got a best and worst?
I'll tell you what. Best. I want to be a smart ass and be like, best Jeff Cameron because he didn't play like crap. But no. I'll tell you what. I like to see Brenner keep pushing for more. And the fact that he hasn't been dejected and hasn't caught the yips and still pushing, I think that's an improvement, what we've seen from a DP Ford so far in the night camp era. Worst, man, it's the depth of this team, the depth of this roster. Yopstam does not trust his bench. He doesn't trust a lot of these players. And, it's a drum we've beaten all year. So it just keeps reinforces the fact that we're not complete. We need to make moves, and we're super limited on what we can do this summer window. And it's just a shame. Now, Night Camp might go out and make 2-3 more moves coming up here. this next week or two. But man, it just gets me depressed that like I feel like we need X and Y, and I feel very little hope they're going to be able to get that this window.
Yeah, it's tough to argue against, Brian. I agree with you there. If I had to offer up a best, my best would be, I mean, I hate to steal your guys' answers, but I mean, Brenner getting 2 goals. I mean, we've been waiting for, I mean, in that game, he scored as many goals as our previous striker did in his year and a half with the team. So he's got 3 now on the season, which is more than Locadia scored. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure it's the same amount as Fernando Adi scored, Ken. So he's already getting up there.
Did Adi score 3? I only thought he scored 2 in MLS.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just thinking. I think he scored. I guess I'm including a gold, not Gold Cup, Open Cup game against Louisville. But yeah, so I'll give that as my best. Already, he's higher than 2 designated player strikers that this team has had, as Brian said. My worst, man. I'm not going to say Vermeer because he's getting an absolute brunt of dislike, we'll say, on social media, right? I mean, it just feels like he's quickly becoming the reason or what everybody are pointing towards as what's wrong with the club at the moment. It's not completely on Kenneth Vermeer. Now, he also contributes to that, but my worst is probably late in the game. It's 4-4. Ball comes into the box, and I know he's new at this position. I know he's getting better at this position, but that header by Joe Zhao right back into the mixer, perfectly teeing it up for Montreal to score the game winner late. And at that point, gents, you almost knew there was no way FCC was going to score after that, which was incredibly disappointing. I don't even think they registered. I'm not even sure they registered a shot on target after that. After they gave up the 5th goal there. So those are my best and worst. Any thoughts on that?
Well, I was going to say on the Zhao thing, I've been I'll call it a stan Zhao guy. I've been the guy who said, let's give him a chance. And it's just, he's done well, sort of, and I say, well, he's been serviceable for the last 4 games prior. And it was just a shame that this was the one play that really just, may have done him in a certain way. And we don't have another right back. So he's got a full year, I think, unless we bring somebody in. But I agree with you. It's been disappointing. And again, I'm a Stan Zhao guy. So I hope it should improve, but we'll see.
Well, you see the progression that Kubo has made in his position. And I think you'd hope that Zhao, considering the time he had there last year and then this year, he would show a little bit more of a leap forward. And he's just not there yet. He's still, I guess, relatively young. I don't know if we can even say any more about him, but I think that would be a position that we could bring in somebody who's had that, a little bit more run of success. And I think that would improve the back line. We're still leaking goals. We're making unnecessary mistakes, whether it be his mistakes or Villacia's in the Columbus match. And we're just not there yet. But that being said, it's tough, when you lose games 5-4, I think a lot of us would feel like going into this match that we're probably going to lose anyway, but it's just that it's the ope that kills you. Oh, this shoulder over here, the ope that kills you, that they played well enough and they scored well enough that you think 4 goals should win a game. And I think we'll get there. I feel a lot more hope and promise. I had some guys that didn't even follow FCC that tuned in the game, DM'd me and said, "Hey, man, don't be dejected. You guys look so much better." And I think there's some truth to that. But when you look at Zhao and kind of put a bow on this thing, is we need to see that progression, or we're going to have to move on.
Yeah, when your friends say they see that we're getting better,
hey, 7-1 and 5-4. There's a little bit of improvement. We're just considering the bar is so low right now. I'm joking.
What do you mean? Wait, I've lost 7-1. Where did you mean 7-1 was our worst?
Was that in versus Minnesota in your?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yes. Hey, come on, guys, keep it up.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh no, it's just I I think we're all there where we're seeing progress. I think we would hope for a little bit more in that we would have been able to close out the leads. I mean, I know people have said this nonstop the past 3 days, 2-0 or 2 up, 2 up.
Yeah. Well, that's part of my frustration is I said we only took 7 shots. We scored 4 goals. You score 4 goals. I'm going to say it. I'll be the first to say it. I think everybody on here would say, who's listening would say, you win those games. 95% of the time, 99% of the time, you win with scoring 4 goals. So it's unacceptable to lose. But what was frustrating to me is when we did get up 2 goals, we never controlled the ball. We never, and you don't.
Where did we see that before, Ken? Oh, the week before against the Crew.
Yeah. Well, when you don't have the mobility in the midfield.
But we did, even when, and like I said, I watched the game at midnight when I came home. But even when we did get the ball, it seems like we just it's go. We have to get the next goal, which is great in sound. It really is. But there is a tactic where you sit there when you're up 2 and you go, hey, it's better to kill the clock. It's better to make these guys tire their legs out because they have to chase the game, not us. And we are not able to do that. And that is the frustrating part is just watching that. And it's like, guys, just slow the game down. Kick the ball around a little bit. Slow it. Make these guys chase you. Make them have to get you. It's like kicking the ball back to the goalkeeper. When you've got the lead, you force the forward to come to the goalkeeper to pick up the ball. When you don't have the lead, that goalkeeper's picking the ball up and kicking it downfield as quick as possible. It's the same situation on the pitch itself. Is, hey, those guys got to chase, make them work. We don't make them work. That's the problem I have is we don't make them work when we got the lead.
Kevin here on Facebook says that we are not a possession team. I think we have the tools to be. I think when you look at Madunanen and Kubo and Acosta, 3 very good guys with the ball at their feet, holding the ball, and hell, Madunanen picking up passes. But I think it comes to that roster build again when you got the Barrials and the Brenners that aren't necessarily target guys to hold up and kill off the game, and Vasquez, who hasn't been playing extremely well this season in that role. So I think it's tough. But again, it's coming down to me, the substitutions and the lack of trusting guys to be able to go out and execute that game plan.
So the irony too is that we are not a possession team, but isn't that the Dutch system? Isn't that based on possession?
No, I'm gonna say this. I'm so sick of hearing the Dutch system and the Dutch things. I really am. I apologize. I'm not trying to poo-poo on you, Nick.
No.
There's just lots of bits. I put this tweet out there. I was trying to bring up to read it word for word this week, but I can't seem to be doing that right now. Basically just saying I feel like we're not doing the best for Jaap.
I remember seeing that.
I'm worried. I'm worried about him leaving. Well, worried. Yeah, the guys at KLR is like worried about him leaving. Well, that's true. I think it's more likely for him to leave versus us firing him because we don't have that complete offering of players for him yet. And when you're talking about the possession and holding these things up, it's something that we've revisited this time and time again. Please let me know what you guys think in your comments. And I love reading this stuff.
So to counter that is, okay, we don't have the pieces in place to make it work. And I'm paraphrasing what you said, but nobody does. I even want to go back to LAFC when they were really good 2 years ago. They had Diamande or whatever on the bench who made like $900,000. Mm-hmm. So I'm just saying every team has flaw,
holes,
has bad expenses.
Yeah,
and I don't disagree that we have probably a little bit more bad expense than any other team. My problem is I didn't see anything like improve. And when I say improve, Tom Pedersen and Nick Hagland and Viacia, this was like new NYCFCF all over again, right? I mean, shouldn't they, Nick's come on and subbed, Viacia has been a consistent starter. I'm not saying I expected perfection, but that was lack of a better word and mark this time, that was a shit show, sort of.
Thank you, Ken. I appreciate that. So a lot was made of the fact that there was obviously some changes in this lineup, right? We knew going into this game with the COVID rules and regulations of Canada that there were certain players that weren't going to be able to play. We all had that assumption going into this match that it was going to be Jeff Cameron, and he obviously was not there and did not play. How much would that have mattered?
Well, Stanko, I think, would have mattered. He didn't travel. Makocho, I don't know what's going on there. I would assume that could have mattered, especially with the congestion. And then, of course, Cameron. He's your calming presence in the back there. He's the leader. So, I'm very disappointed that he wasn't able to join us. I think there's a lot of political and personal discussions to be had about that. You've seen it on Twitter this past weekend. I think I'm very disappointed in how MLS handled this whole thing. But even today, Canada came out. I think it said, you still have to be vaccinated to come into the country. So, I think it absolutely would matter. And I think you're going to see an improvement when we get on the field this week. They're talking about this today about the U.S. men's national team and Walker Zimmerman's injury. And legitimately, what name came up as a center back to replace Walker Zimmerman on the Gold Cup? Jeff Cameron. That's how well this guy's playing. This is the biggest home run signing I think Nykamp's had in his tenure.
100% agree. No, 100% agree. 100% agree.
The funny thing is when the rumors were swirling that he was coming, I think we were all kind of like, ooh, I don't know, what's he got left in the tank? But you're right. He has been tremendous. Mm-hmm. Where would this team be without Jeff Cameron right now? I don't even want to think about that.
Yeah. Now we just need to bring his best friend Bobby Boswell back, man. Let's have some Bash Brother action and kill some teams.
Yeah.
No.
So I do want to counter that and what you said. And I say counter in the aspect of let's take a holistic approach. Everybody says I'm negative, Nelly, but I'm being honest here of okay, Jeff Cameron didn't travel. But Montreal was playing without two defensive starters and no goal, their backup goalkeeper. Don't you think that showed a little bit too? And I'm just saying, and I'm only saying that as in the aspect, can we really use Cameron as an excuse? Or we flubbed it. I truthfully feel like we flubbed it. Somebody else said it on Twitter today to me. They wrote a response and they wrote, it's because of this, and they said tactics. And I'm like, tactics? Come on. I mean, there's got to be adjustments somewhere at points in time.
I think you're talking about your hold-up play and you're killing off the game. Discussion earlier was good. I'm sure Coach and Justin will explain it to a wonderful detail on their show this week. But I put this on Twitter too. You got to win a game with 5 guys in the back. I mean, it's not like Castillo doesn't know how to play left back. He's done very well. Yep. And your high-priced Pedersen and Nick Hagelin, who we gave up a dump truck worth of money for, we're just I don't know, man.
So FC Cincinnati now in 2 consecutive matches on 3 different occasions has given up 2-goal leads. That's really hard to do.
I feel like I'm on Twitter right now. I love this. Keep going.
And it's just
there's 4 occasions that we gave 3 different games.
But I'm talking about in a row.
Oh yeah.
Consecutively, right? So the Crew game, 2-0 lead, managed to give up 2 goals. Had a 2-goal lead against Montreal, gave up 2. Had another 2-goal lead against Montreal, and then conceded 3.
Nashville.
Yeah, earlier on the year, you're right. Nashville, 2-0 lead. So I know they always say the 2-0 is the dangerous scoreline to have because 1 goal changes everything. But what honestly, what does Jaap Stam need to do to fix this? Does it just simply come down to when you say be more aggressive, Ken? What do you mean? Because there's a catch-22, right? If we say, be more aggressive, and they start piling guys forward to get that 3rd goal, and then they have giving up a goal because of it. Now it's like, well, why are we trying to score the goal? We should just be killing it off.
So let me say this, and let's just lay it on the table. None of us are soccer players on the professional level.
No.
None of us have been coaches on the professional level. Talk to Justin Hoyt and Coach. Go listen to their show. If you want the real, down and dirty on this stuff. This is my opinion, is you say get more aggressive. Well, the guys have learned to become, and I say learned, they have become relaxed when they are up 2 goals. I put a stat out today. We've led by 2 goals for 84 minutes total this year. While we were up 2 goals with 84, we've led 84 minutes. We've gotten 3 shots off. 3 shots. That is terrible. I don't expect us to get 30 shots off, or whatever, 10 shots off. Just be more aggressive. And yes, shots do show that you're creating something. You have to keep it off balance. And we are just sitting back and absorbing and hoping to get a breakaway. It feels like just hoping to, or as I said earlier, we don't possess the ball. Lucho gets the ball, and my God, I love it. I love it when he's on his feet, but he tries to beat 3 guys, and eventually he loses it. And it's like, beat 2, pass it off, give it to somebody else, cycle it back around, eat off 30, 40 more seconds, give your defense more breaks. So I'm just saying, when I say aggressive, be smart too. I mean, you got to be aggressive and learn how to do this. This team, this team hasn't learned to win. They haven't. And I do think that's on the coach a little bit.
Yeah. I mean,
a lot more, just, hey, you have to go out there and go, guys, slow things down, settle it. I don't know what that is. Honestly, I'm oversimplifying it. I'm not a coach. I'm not a player. I'm just putting that out there.
Even if you just look at, I love like the game flow guys on Twitter, and they show like the quality chances that the teams have. I mean, we had several chances, around the Medun and Brenner goals. We had another chance later on in the first half, and then really nothing till Viacia right before halftime, and then Brenner, and then pretty much after then, I mean, after the 50th minute, there was not much to hang our hats on until we were absolutely scrapping to the dying seconds of the match. So I see what you're saying there, and to their point, like to your point, Ken, our XG for this match compared to those guys was like 1.38. So you could say we overperformed a little bit on the offensive side, where maybe we should. I mean, clearly we shouldn't have had a 4-goal lead, but I don't know, man. I think there's more bits and pieces that we have to bring into this group if we really want us to take that next step. There's a great comment in here now. Of course, my mouse isn't working to bring it up.
Who's it from?
I think Ryan. I hear it is. Okay, he has 2 things. Ryan forgot again. There have been adjustments made. Completely agree with that. Big picture, 2019 to now, 2020 to now. I'll take 2021 team over the other 2.
Oh, 100%.
I absolutely agree with it. But I think we've also changed our expectations a little bit. So like, and maybe in 2019, 2020, we'd forgive this a little bit more, where we'd hope we'd be in a better spot than where we are. I mean, we're still in a better spot, but I think we hoped we'd be in a better spot than where we are. And especially with, not being able to bring in the right pieces to kill off a game, or to keep, our foot on the throat of Montreal.
I'm going to put a bow on this segment. Oh, Ken, you want to add one more thing real quick?
Well, I just wanted to, for our listeners out there, Brian brought up one of my favorite stats, which is XG, and he said, hey, we had 1.38. That's pretty daggone good. The average XG is 1.41 by a team per game. So it's average. And I'm saying that it's average. So
I would take average.
I get that. I don't settle on that. That's the difference. Is it's like and a lot of that was Brenner's poke goal to score, and you don't get, that's not a repeatable. What the hell?
It's like hitting a half-court shot in basketball. It's very
it's like you're not going to do that every game, and I mean, he's done it twice in 12 games. So he's gotten the PK on the other one. So I get it, but I'm just saying, I think what we're trying to say is we want to see patterns of play to where it's like, get 17 shots off. I understand if we only get 1.8 goals XG on that, but be dangerous, and shots do mean dangerous at a certain level, and we need to become more dangerous. That's all.
All right. I'll wrap this up by saying this. I got called out today on Twitter, and I'll give credit to where credit is due. This is from @JDP Tommy. He says, I blame Saturday on Nick Struberling. Before the season started, he said he didn't care about results and just wanted goals and exciting soccer. Yeah, I said that repeatedly. I just want to see goals. I want to get up off my seat. And so, yes, Saturday offered that. At the same time, now, okay, it's exciting. We are excited to see that goals are being scored. We're excited to see that there's a little bit of fight back in this team for the most part. There's some changes being made. So yes, I will fully wave my hand and said, yep, that's what I said.
Hey, Subes, are you saying you can move the goalpost because you've got more data? Like you've seen more of the team and you can change your expectations?
Sure.
Exactly.
Yeah. Anywho, again, we'd love to hear your thoughts, FCC fans. What were your best and worst? Hit us up, feedback at CincinnatiSoccerTalk.com. You can hit us up on Twitter as well at Cincy Soccer Talk. And thank you again. This is from from Tommy, who called me out, and I certainly deserved it. All right, it's that time of the show where we give a big shout out and thanks to our tremendous supporters. Let's give it up to Tim Bronsel, Matt Adamczyk, Mike Hudson, Brian Malone, Jamie Smed, Jonas Tom, Jack Emery, Mike Bowman, Kathleen Francis, Matt Imholt, Matthew Long, Joe Colling, Tara Mullins, Riley Stephen Burke, and Melissa Bingle. Melissa, we hope you're getting well soon. We're thinking about you. Again, if you want to support the show, head on over to CincinnatiSoccerTalk.com. Hit us up. CincinnatiSoccerTalk.com/support is where you can support the show. And once again, thank you always to our tremendous supporters here at CST. All right, I mentioned him a little bit earlier on in the show. Kenneth Vermeer seems to always be the lightning rod of discussion amongst FCC fans on social media. He was brought in late in the preseason. The season had already started. They brought him in. He had been released by LAFC and right away put into the starting lineup. And there's been some games where he's been great. There's been some games where you're scratching your head wondering, why is he still playing? Ken, you have some data. What's going on? Why are we seeing Kenneth Vermeer, and should there be a change? Because already in the chat tonight, I've seen multiple folks saying Teton should be starting.
So I'm going to just I put a tweet out, and it's been a little bit of a lightning rod, and I ranked the top 20. Let me just say this. There's been 26 goalkeepers that have played 6+ games this year. So 540 minutes, whatever, or more. Out of those 26, Kenneth Vermeer has faced the 15th most shots average. So not a lot, not a little. So just to be clear, his save percentage is 25th out of 26. His passing percentage is 22nd out of those 26. His long ball passing is 26th last. His goals against is 21st. Is that all on Kenneth Vermeer? No, not all of that. Obviously not. My critique really is he hasn't been an upgrade, and he's an international, and it's showing statistically. And I know statistics don't mean everything, but by God, over a certain point of time, there is a truth to it, and he's starting to show his truth. He's not a strong goalkeeper, and I'll stand by that. I've sat back and said, okay, I'm just going to let this play out because I'm not going to get beat up. But he's not. It's more of a critique of the roster build. It's like, was he worth it? Is really my critique over Vermeer or Teton. It really is. It's not Vermeer out. It's, was he an upgrade? And I get it if Teton was injured, bring Ben Lund in. I don't care. I want to freaking grow the team, not sit back. I don't know. I'm going to get fired up, so I'm just going to let it at that.
I like fired up Ken. He demands better, folks. Bri, you got any thoughts on the goalkeeper situation?
I'm going to read a quote. A lot of people don't know the insights, how things work, how the situation is about making choices about doing things, how people are feeling as well at times. So sometimes they need to temper a little bit as well in terms of expressing their thoughts. That was Yopstom about Kenneth Vermeer. Man, I know you're trying to shield your boy a little bit, but again, it's just not, he cost us several points. He hasn't been great. Yes, people make mistakes, goalies make mistakes, but it's about time we recognize that Teton wasn't bad. Let's give Teton a shot and get him back between the sticks. Let's try something. Maybe throw Teton in there and send a message to Vermeer. I don't know. I don't think he's it. It's tough. I want to root for the guy. I think he's great to the fans and shows a lot of heart. But man, at some point, I think the stats don't lie. Ball don't lie, right? So
yeah. Can I just? I want to. You didn't see me say this, Brian, because I said it earlier. But Stom said something like, "I'm sure if I saw you doing your job, I could find a few things to critique you on." And I'm paraphrasing that. I'm paraphrasing that. But I'm sitting there going, nobody pays $50 a seat with 26,000 people around me watching me do my work. And if I'm making $300,000 a year, you're damn right I'm going to get criticized by them. You're damn right you are. And it's a BS answer. And I'm tired of that. That is not acceptable. I am his customer. I get critiqued by my boss. I get critiqued by my coworkers. And I get critiqued by my customers within my own job. We all get God dang it. Critiqued. Yes.
That was one of the best monologues and funniest at the same point.
So
yes.
Anyways, my point is that's not an excuse. That is not a valid excuse. And I am tired of Yop doing that. It's BS. Sorry. Okay.
Sorry.
That's my second bourbon in me.
Ken is just demanding better, folks.
Yeah. And to be fair, he's had his good games. He's had his bad games.
Yeah.
He hasn't been consistent. And I think a lot of us would ask for that. We're not asking to be best 11 Eloy Room, but yeah. So, and the whole point with him being an international player, I mean, he's getting his checks cashed or paid, whatever, by LAFC this year. So I'm not going to do that too much. I'm interested. I don't know how the rules work. If we pick up the option for next year, if he has a guaranteed option, if we're on the hook for his big payday, then
it says it's guaranteed through 2022.
So I don't know if that's us paying it or LA, but that I think I mentioned that
700,000. It won't be the 700,000 that he had.
Well, I did mention this on Twitter as well. It's like, I wonder how much he's going to cost us in the future. So if we're stuck with Vermeer next year, we'll see how it goes.
Wouldn't you? And again, we saw Teton if you're watching us on the feed, you can see me swatting away bugs here in my basement. Wouldn't you want to see Teton with this, let's face it, rebuilt backline?
Yeah.
I mean, Teton wasn't in there with
he's
Cameron.
Better with his reaction saves than Vermeer is. I mean, that's completely, there's nothing behind that factual last, but I don't know.
I think, I don't know. I would want to see what Teton has to offer now with two new center backs. He has not played with Cameron and Vicia yet. Maybe that changes things for Teton. Maybe it's a better situation. I don't know, but I think it should be seen. I don't.
So the question with him bringing him in was like, he's a better passer. Is that right? Better distributor.
Well, that's the word.
Supposedly.
Okay, but Cameron is doing a lot of those, splitting lines passing. So we don't necessarily need the keeper to be doing that.
Well, not only that, but Ken just said it in the stats. The stats don't back up the passing thing.
Well, I know there's a couple mentions in the chat here, like, oh, what his I think he's 25th in distribution or something like that. So yeah, that's fair.
So here's my take on that too, though, is I think Vermeer is willing to give the ball to the back line. And I think Teton was not willing to. So I've sat there and said, set up a kangaroo court. Have the team freaking penalize Teton and say, hey, if you're not going to pass it to the back line, every time you don't pass it without a approval or whatever, of some sort or within reason, you're getting a penalty of $50. I don't care. Just set up something that lets them think, well, I got to pass it to Cameron. Set up a kangaroo court on it. It's simple as that, guys. And I say that, he could say $50, screw it, whatever. I don't care. I'm just saying, if that's the issue, that's fixable.
Yeah. Now, I disagree with. I don't know if you give him a cash fine, Ken, but I do think you forcibly make him eat 4 cheese conies.
At halftime.
What do you have at your house that he's gonna need? Not a duvet, a bidet.
Bidet? Yeah,
I'll have to
thanks.
install. I have to install a bidet at the Mercy Health Training Complex now. Sorry, Jeff Birding, but you can add that to your bill.
Oh my goodness. Oh man, I was not expecting that.
And if he does it twice, he's got to eat a 3-way.
I'm just going to say this right now. Bidet needs to work its way into the CST reviews.
Oh, that or critique. Both critique and bidet. I like that.
Oh.
I like that. Jeremy on Twitter says, but was Teton not passing to the back line because they were not good?
I mean, he didn't have Cameron or
possible.
Vicia, so
That's a totally
I don't
valid
think so.
statement.
God, I feel like he was.
I mean, how many games in a row has Vermeer played?
Vermeer
9.
started since Miami, right? So game 4, or was that game 3?
The fourth game, yeah.
Game 4 game because what's his face was in there.
Cody Cropper.
Cody Cropper played a game.
Yep. I mean, why not this week? What Wednesday night? Atlanta United. I don't know. I'd make the change.
Hey, Teton, just go out there and face Joseph Martinez. No big deal. No big deal at all, buddy.
Well, Joseph Martinez isn't exactly firing on all cylinders right now.
Dude, he's coaching that team on Wednesday. He got his way already. Fired the coach. Let's go.
Yeah.
He's going to bang in 4. No,
who's in more of a dysfunctional state? Which club? It's got to be Atlanta, right?
Jeez.
Oh, dysfunctional, yes. I think they're more dysfunctional right now.
Yeah.
I don't think we're dysfunctional. I just think
we're incomplete.
Yeah, we're not. It goes back to roster build. I don't know who's been saying that for freaking 6 months.
I'm not saying blow this up. I even put it on Twitter. I'm not saying blow this up.
There's pieces.
There's like I put on Twitter again, go check it out because I like putting my stuff out there where people can look it up and not accuse me of crap, fakers. Like Val Vicia has been great. Barrial has been great. Brenner, very excited about him. There's been good things out there, but there's some big black holes that we got to fill, right back, center backs. I don't know. Is 8 and 8 a new, I don't know, a second box to box. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, you just see like I think the thing that got me the most upset about this weekend, this match was just the inability. And some people disagree with me, but that just Stom didn't have all the levers to pull, and we're still there. And, we're still hamstrung. We're still a little bit hamstrung by that initial roster build, but we're really hamstrung by, that first, I guess it was that first winter full transfer window from night camp. So we're still trying to build out of that hole.
Yeah. So can I just throw in a question here, actually to you two? And you have 2 moves to make. What positions do you feel? 2, only 2. Don't give me 3. What are the 2 moves you make? What positions?
Wow.
It just depends. Are we going to do a 5-3-2 or a 4-3-3?
You tell me.
I think if we do a 4-3-3, you give me a left winger and a right back.
I still think we need a 6, like a legit 6.
Kubo's doing well, guys. He's doing
again.
He's like top 3 or 4 in tackles. I don't know. I hated the Kubo experiment. I'm liking it.
I'm not saying that he hasn't gotten better and improved. I agree with you. I just think that if you got a real 6, you could put him at left wing. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is what we brought him here for in the first place.
Oh, you're talking about moving Kubo back. Sorry.
Yeah.
Was not following you there. It's like you bring in a new 6 to put him on the left wing. Oh, geez. I've only had a half of a drink tonight, boys. Yeah, I don't know. I think Kubo, he's going to be there. Who? Frankie Amaya, who?
So you wanted 2 spots, Ken, right?
Yeah, 2.
So I'm going with a 6. I hate saying it, but I also agree about right back.
Oh, I know. It kills me to say it to Joe Jow. Man Crush Monday.
Gotten a lot better. And
he's
if
not bring it. Sorry, I apologize.
No, it's okay. I don't necessarily think he's the reason why FCC. I mean, yes, the 5th goal was a killer Saturday night, but I want to see a little more end product on the offensive third from Joe Jow at that spot.
I guarantee you, somebody is in their car yelling at us right now for not saying this. You bring in a right back because then you could play Joe Jow on the wing.
Yeah, that too. You could put him at left wing if you needed.
I mean,
that left wing's his natural position, actually.
Joe Zhao is a right or left wing coming off the bench with 30 minutes ago is a weapon. And he can play right back if we need him to. So, yeah. I mean, I you'll hear him to my dying day. I love Joe Zhao. I don't think there's another person happier that he came to FC Cincinnati than I was.
I can back that up from Brian was floating on cloud 9 when he got signed, and he loved him.
Cliff Adams. I'm in my recliner, not my car.
Yeah.
Cliff, we've seen your Facebook post. We know you can yell, buddy.
Well, here's the thing, too, with Ken. Ken was banging on the drum real early on about playing him at right back.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, we all miss, right?
I'm not saying you miss, though.
And I'm not sitting there saying it's you got to try it, sort of. And we've said it. There's no complete roster in MLS. That's the way they've built it. That you're going to have holes. So, with that, with what you guys said, I don't think it's a defensive mid. I'm an Alan Cruz fan, and I think we need to bring in a guy who is closer to Lucho, but more in Alan Cruz's state that can sort of fill both those roles and open up Lucho. To say, I'm trying to, a more aggressive, more offensive. That's the word I'm looking for. More offensive Alan Cruz with the ball at his feet. Is that Kyle Scott? I don't know.
You're looking for a box-to-box midfielder.
I don't know if I'm looking for a box-to-box.
Put him on a wing. Give me Carlos Vela.
I'm just saying we need somebody to open up Lucho to where he doesn't have 3 bodies on him all the time, too.
Yeah, but that's the game plan. That's what they've done. We've said this when we sign Lucho Acosta. The best way to take Lucho Acosta out is throw 2 bodies on him because he tries to do too many things and you hack him. That's the way to game. So that's why I think you need a left winger. And Barrial's been a great release valve on the right, but people are starting to clue in on him too.
So Brian and I disagree. Manu. I think it's the other way because I think
Manu. That's a comment from Joe on Facebook.
Well, I'm just hey, this is great. We disagree because I think the other way is you free them up through the 8 through a more 10 like 8 than a 6 type 8. I guess is probably the way I'm saying it. That puts a lot of pressure on Kubo, a lot for a new guy.
Yeah,
and I'm not saying this is the whole thing. This is the dynamics of MLS.
He's thinking
there's a hole. There's a hole. Right?
Yeah, there always will be.
And I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying that's my approach. And I do agree. I finally succumbed a right back. I struggle with it, but it's a right back.
I just can't imagine. We have 2 almost $1 million players sitting on the bench in a center midfield role. And it's like, we're going to throw another one there. Well, it's who you can get in this market,
Yeah.
That's a thing. We want X and Y, but sometimes things fall through.
I don't.
But do we have to move some? And I don't know if you're.
Oh yeah, we do. 100%. We have.
Is that with or without Franco? Because even if you move Franco, then you take.
Well, okay. If you move Franco and
international spot open, but not a senior.
And Vanderwerf stays on the IR, you have 2 open spots. Vanderwerf. If VDW comes back on, we only have 1. So, I mean, you have those 2 spots based on that. If VDW comes back on and you have Franco, we have no open spots.
I thought we had 20 right now.
Nope.
All right. I trust you.
You've backed off, man. I know this stuff.
I know. I've been angry at people.
Well, I'm just all I'm saying is it's good to have the diversity that we've all said, we've had here of like, hey, this is what we see and what we don't see. I also agree with I can see where Gerard Nijkamp says, I want a center back because I've made this statement also is I love Viacia. Viacia is really, really strong. Let me put a caveat here for his age.
Yeah.
He makes, and I know people on here don't, I track something called bad defensive plays or bad, it's lost tackles. It's they track these things, bad plays that lead to shots, so on and so forth. He leads the team or is close to leading the team and allowing that to happen. It's not me being negative on him. He's young. He's fast. We need a fast center back to cover. So he provides something that is not truly measurable, and it is needed. So I totally understand his spot. I love the signing. I'm just saying,
And he's
Gerard saying, I need another center back, and I need a midfielder. Those were his two top things. I don't disagree with him necessarily either.
I think you also need a center back after you saw what happened this weekend when Jeff Cameron couldn't play.
We got a new center back coming in. His name's Michael Vandervreth.
I can't tell if you're joking or what.
Isn't that the problem?
Well, that's the thing. Like, can you? He's always hurt. You can't rely on him. I think Brenner's played more games than Vanderwerf has. I have to go back and look at that. I'm pretty sure. How many Brenner's played every game, right?
Vanderwerf was here for a year and a half before this, so I'm not. I get your point, but I'm pretty sure Vanderwerf played more than 17 games or 12 games.
We've played 17 games this year.
No,
feels like it.
We've played 12 games, right?
Well, it's felt like 4 years as a fan.
There you go.
I'd have to go. I'm really curious now to see what that number is and how.
I'm looking.
All right.
Is it funny? Michael Vanderwerf is still listed as our captain on Transfer Market. Whew.
Wow.
Come on, Doc. He has played 24.
Wow.
23 MLS games and 1 MLS is back additional.
That is surprising. Well,
and in August, he'll be here 2 years.
Yeah.
So 34 games.
Times two.
Well, we only played 24, so total of 58 roughly.
Well,
time frame 24.
I don't care what happens. If he comes off the bench and plays on Saturday versus Nashville and just takes out that new DP they got and just crushes the hopes and dreams of Nashville, I will give him $1 million bonus out of Carl Linder's checkbook.
Yeah.
I would just love to see that.
I'd rather it be Hani Mukhtar.
Oh man.
All right. So
we never wish injuries on anybody. Just to be clear, we don't. That's all said in jest. I want before anybody comes back and says we want anybody to get injured. Anybody.
Speak for yourself, Ken.
I was gonna let Brian jump in right there, just like I expected.
Guys,
right.
We're trying to have fun. This has been a challenging 3 years. We have fun.
Yeah, we are trying to lighten things up here, not just on the show, but it's it's been difficult.
I don't know if you're going to touch this, and I'm probably jumping the script again, but I put on Twitter, how many points are we going to have this week out of these next 2 matches?
See, I love that you went there because I was going to ask you, because this is kind of your territory.
Boom.
Clifford on Facebook saying Atlanta is a must-win. So I ask you,
4
Brian,
points.
Is Atlanta a must-win? You're the must-win guy.
No, I like the must-win because I look at it you can't just have one infinitesimal definition of things. Seriously, no, must win. No, if we lose both, then that following week might be a little bit of a hair raiser. But
Atlanta without their coach,
I think you got to come. Yeah, I think you can't go winless. Is that a cop out or what? But no, I think we go 4. I think we win versus Atlanta, and nobody ever wins in Nashville, FC Cincinnati. So yeah,
you're right.
Knock on the wood.
That's a scary stat. I think they've played 5 times now, and they've all ended in draws.
Except for like the preseason friendlies or something.
Yeah, that didn't count with Big Bird.
Oh my God.
Yep. So is Wednesday a must win, Ken?
Oh, I think it's God. I hate saying this. I think it's the game we can get points out of the most. It's the most likely game we can get points out of.
Do it for the Camels, damn it. Do it for the Camels. Get us 3.
Do it for the Camels. Just don't get stepped on by one. I'm waiting to see where they show up in Washington Park. So, I mean, God almighty. No, I'm going to say something that people are just not going to like. Nothing new here. So, Nashville's good. They're really good.
They are.
They are really good. and I'm not calling out Coach at all, but Coach just hates the way they play. And he's like, I'd rather play the way we're trying to play. And I totally get it. But they are very good at how they play.
They also have depth.
And they have depth. And I was just looking at through the Vermeer stats. Joe Willis has been very poor this year, like saves wise and all this stuff. However, he's faced the second fewest shots on target out of anybody in MLS. They've got a stout defense. They're missing what's his name?
Zimmerman.
Yeah. I was going to say Walker. So I get it. We need to, if we get points from Nashville, it's a statement by Stom of approval. And I say that from the aspect of, I truly do believe that game compared to the game one is two totally different dynamics at this point in time.
Oh, yeah.
I truly do. I mean, they're
I'm curious to see where we stack up, considering at that game we didn't have Cameron over Icia.
Yeah. And they got time under their belt. Both teams got time under the belt. You know, Lucho was new. So I truly do think there is a quote unquote measuring stick there.
Yes.
I just think it's going to be very, very hard to get points down there. So I feel Atlanta is the game we have to get points.
I feel like I'm Clay Winstead talking over you guys. That's the game where you measure, that's where Stom gets measured. That's where Nijkamp gets measured. These are huge games that we want to win over our rivals. They've gotten more points in a season and a half than we have in 2.5 seasons. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff there that we need.
That's a gross stat.
It's a horrible stat, but yeah, those are measuring stick games.
Stats don't matter.
Stats don't. Measuring stick.
That's my favorite. That is my all-time favorite thing. Stats don't matter. It's the game. You watch the game, and then you tell somebody that the stats. I know. I watched that game. The stats don't matter, and they go, "No, did you look at the stats?"
What about?
And I was like, "What the hell is this?"
What about the eye test? Does the eye test? So if you don't want to go by the eye test, do we want to go by the stats? I mean, that's usually the stats will back up the eye test.
Whatever. I'm just. It's funny at this point.
Yeah.
We have 7 games over the next roughly month. From the 21st to 21st, there's 7 matches. So I'd like to get some of these points, and I'd like to see us with Cameron. Maybe we go back to that 3-5-2, 5-3-2, whatever you call it. Coach Goff's going to talk about on his show. I really want to see how much having Stanko available, how having Cameron available makes us tough, more tough to beat. Make Nashville beat us. I mean, we know they're tough to beat. I mean, they've lost one game, drawn like 5 or 7 or whatever. So be tough to beat, Stom. Let's try it.
I like Cliff's, and sorry, Cliff, I don't have the ability to pull up your thing that says pending ref draw. I'm going 3-0 FCC. I just love that because I 100% agree that the ref the last 2 games has been garbage. I mean, they have been, and I don't sit there and say, FCC should have won both those games under different circumstances on both of them. But I just love that statement because it's like, yeah, this is the way our season's going, and we're going to be able to use the ref as an out. But even though neither one of the last 2 games, that's not a real reason. I just love that statement. Thank you, Clifford. It made me laugh. That's all.
I'm just interested to see if there's going to be more fireworks at the Biden thing at Mount St. Joe or FC Cincinnati game on Wednesday.
Yeah, I saw that they moved the location there to Mount St. Joe's. So for those folks attending the match on Wednesday night, you get a little bit of a reprieve from the traffic there.
Have fun coming in from the west side.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh. I'm a west sider at heart. I just moved.
My parents are West Siders, so
yeah.
I bleed. You'll hate it. I bleed purple for that aspect, and Brian will be like, "Oh God."
And this is where we wrap the show up, real quick. Oh,
I removed Ken from the stream.
Oh, that's too.
That's
funny.
Great.
All right. Well, this has been fun. I needed this.
No, it hasn't.
Session.
It's been terrible now. Thank you, Ken.
I'm 3 shandies in. And yeah, this has been It's funny. Like I didn't drink for like 5 years, but this team has just led me right back to it.
My brother-in-law and I watched the match on Saturday. He's not an FCC fan, and he got schnockered. I was like, let's go to our neighbor's house. He goes, yeah, no, I drank too much watching this game. I'm like, yeah, they'll make you do that. They'll make you do that.
Yeah.
So at least, for the love of a man, it was a hell of a lot more fun watching a 5-40 game than the alternative in some of these times. So
and I was banging that drum all off
I
season.
And we get so mad on Twitter, and it's like an echo chamber. Sometimes you got to step back and kind of, figure everything out. But yeah, I mean, we're not happy, but I think that we've seen progression, and that's kind of made us be disappointed in some of these matches, like the draw to Columbus and the loss. So
I think the
take
draw
that
to
however
Columbus
you guys want.
If you would have said before the season we were going to draw Columbus 2-2 at home, that first hell is real, we would have taken it in an instant. I think the game state, as Ken said, the fact that we were up a man and couldn't tell that we had a man advantage is what disappointed a lot of folks, myself included. But yeah, 5-4s, I'll take those all day over 3-0 losses. I mean, at least FC Cincinnati scoring goals and getting my butt off the couch. So I'll absolutely take that.
Yeah, I got a funny story actually on it. I'm out to eat dinner, and my dad's texting me. I mean, my dad never texts. My God, we have no defense. Oh my God, another one. Jesus. Oh my God. And I look down and I open up FOTMob, and we're up 2-0. And I'm like, what the hell are you saying, Dad? And the next thing he's like, we just gave up one. And I'm like, okay, it's 2-1. And I'm like, Dad, I'm at dinner. But I just love my dad, he's the no, I'm not trying to minimize he's just a fan. He's a fan, and he loves the game. He loves the team. He loves Cincinnati. And I love his perspective because it's innocent. It truly is. And it's like, it's a simple state of where, and I told him, hey, I'm not shocked because Jeff Cameron's not there, yada, yada, yada. No. But before I opened it up, I mean, should I say, before I even saw the score, we were up 2-0. I was like, oh God, we must have given up a goal or two. But I love the aspect that my father is just giving a perspective of like, oh my God, I think he saw the 2 shots off the goal, the woodwork or whatever it was, 1 shot, maybe it was 1 shot. I don't, he's freaking out sort of. And I'm like, those are the casual fans, and they're valid, and we need them. And I love that he loves it. So,
absolutely.
It was just funny that, I'm sitting at dinner going, I'm not watching a game. And he's just, oh God, another one. Oh God.
Well, I could tell you. So I went camping over the weekend in Sandusky, and I was purposely trying to avoid Slack and social media so that I could, man, I've got to do something about this bug here in my basement. It's driving me nuts. Anyway, people watching the video are going to think I'm crazy because I'm swatting. Anyway, so I'm camping, and I'm purposely trying to stay away so I can watch the game later and see it and watch it in full, right? So all of a sudden I see a little notification pop up on my phone, and I got intrigued. I'm like, all right, I'll pull up ESPN Plus and see what's going on here. I pull it up. It's a freaking 80th minute, and it's 4-4. I'm like, holy crap, what the hell? What the hell is going on here? And I ended up watching the final 13 minutes, and I saw the 5th goal, but I'm just like, holy crap. I mean, so yeah, I'm like I said, I said it all summer. I just want to see exciting, entertaining soccer. And you can't say it wasn't entertaining, right? I mean, look, it's 9 goals. I'll take that.
Yeah, just hope the casual fan that sees that goes, oh, this is how soccer is all the time. No.
Right. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Anywho, thank you everybody who's watched us live tonight on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. We certainly appreciate it. Make sure you get in your ratings and reviews of this week's show. We want to hear the critiques. And what was the other keyword we wanted to use? Bidet. Bidets and critiques in this week's Apple Podcast review. Let us again hit them up over to CincinnatiSoccerTalk.com/Apple Podcast.
If anybody can work both of those into one review, I will personally pay for the second shirt. You can get 2 shirts for that one because I will personally send Subs $20 for a bidet and critique just because bidet's funny.
Oh yeah. So last week we asked you for we talked about the shushing, right? Last week with Caleb Porter shushing the crowd at TQL Stadium after the match. We got 6 reviews, folks.
Holy cow.
We got 6 reviews. This one, I'm going to read them all here because they're so good. This is from Marshall P. He says, CST shushes all other podcasts. The future of Ohio soccer resides in Cincy, and this podcast is where it's at. A must listen for anyone who's a fan of the orange and blue. For anyone who might be turning into their dad, shushing young whippersnappers and yelling at kids to get off their lawn. Well, there are clubs in other parts of Ohio that might be a better fit. Thank you, Marshall, for that one. This is from Skills with a Z. Cincy Soccer Talk, the podcast pairs well with a nice shandy. I agree with that. Skills. This one's from Fallen in Love 08. Shush. Oh, I should probably read the title. Even Cole Porter likes this podcast.
Cole Porter?
Yeah. Shush. I know it's Caleb, but what Jeff says, you just roll with. And you should roll with this fantastic podcast about Ohio's most beloved soccer club, FC Cincinnati. It's surely tickle your fancy with a TQL there. I like that. Passionate and entertaining segments cover the best of the best and the worst of the worst with all things FCC. From the roaring Bailey all the way down to the pitch, it's all here. So if you love that MLS side, Siri, I'm not even talking to you. Leave me alone. God dang it. So if you love that MLS side that wears the orange and blue, look no further than CST for the most comprehensive coverage you will find anywhere. Watch your tackles, demand better, crack open a shandy, and download the latest episode today. That's from our good friend, Jim G. Jim, I love listening to your music, man. Appreciate the nice feedback. I got 3 more reviews. You guys want to hear them?
I think Jim has a concert this weekend in Mason, by the way. So go check out Jim's
Really?
page. I think it's like at 16 post or something like that. Yeah, I think he's
Very
got
cool.
a concert this weekend. Yeah.
All right, I got 3 more. You want to hear them?
Sure.
All right. This is from Patty Cake. My favorite. This is my absolute favorite podcast about FC Cincinnati and other local teams. The members are able to be honest, but still positive for the most part.
I was just going to say,
I love that the original guys have been around since the beginning of FCC. I loved when they were able to attend preseason and interview players and share info back in the USL days. I loved that too, Patty Cake. It's great to hear them analyze the matches every week, and I appreciate that they can disagree without arguing on air. Well worth the time to listen. Thank you for all you do, Nick and crew. Patty Cake, appreciate the feedback and the review. That's very kind of you. 2 more here. This is from Busky. Great for new fans. I'm relatively new to soccer and wanted a podcast to help me get more engaged with FC Cincinnati. Great pod and good group of guys. Nice way to stay on top of FC news and learn more about the club. We'll let it slide about the FC, Busky, but we appreciate
he said
the
FC.
Apple podcast.
You'll never see Nick. You'll never hear Nick say FC. I couldn't believe he did it.
Yeah. I will let it slide, Busky, but we appreciate the review there. And last, this is from G04040404. I've had too many shandies. Great pod for FC Cincinnati news and analysis. The CST crew produces, man, I cannot read, provides great analysis and comprehensive coverage of FC Cincinnati and occasionally other local soccer news. Great podcast, website, and social content. Really, this team covers all angles, whether it's a match preview, post-game analysis, roster analysis, or off the pitch news regarding the club. They nail it. If you follow FC Cincinnati at all, this podcast is definitely worth the listen. Thank you so much for those reviews, everybody, this week. Really appreciate it. Get out there, leave a review with the day and critique on this week's show. We will send you a shirt. Ken has offered to send you the second shirt as well for the best one. So make sure you do that. Let's see. Kevin on Facebook. How about this? I'll be at my first game at TQL Wednesday. Great show, guys. Yeah. Hope you enjoyed your first time there. I know I enjoyed it. It was absolute blast to be there at the stadium for Hell is Real. Hoping to get down there for a couple more. But really, let's hope that FC Cincinnati, as Brian said, gets at least 4, but hopefully 6 points this week. As we wrap things up, I will start with you, Ken Hetker. Final thoughts.
Yeah.
Appreciate you being on the show, buddy.
Thanks for having me. I just want to tell Kevin, it is the best stadium in Cincinnati. I mean, honestly, it is. Maybe other than as KLR says, the concourse. But
Oh my God, yes, it's so funny.
but it is so amazing on the inside, and the only thing I fear for you is on Wednesday is maybe it won't be a packed crowd, but it is a beautiful stadium, and you feel right at the action. So, congratulations! I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for joining. My other thing I want to say is I've taken a little heat the last few weeks, and I've calmed down, and I say calmed down. I backed off. However, I think there's a lot of I don't know how to say this. Emperor has no clothes sort of mentality of like, it's unfair to be critical of the team. And I want the team to win. I want them to succeed. I want Gerard to succeed. I want Yap to succeed. I see things differently, and that's all right. And I just don't want anybody to think that everything's rainbows and sunshine and rainbows, and it's not. There are things that I look at the backside that say there's concerns. So I'm not saying the sky is falling, but the Emperor also doesn't have any clothes is not the right way to present yourselves. So just be mindful of there's varying opinions, and it's fair. That's all.
Yeah.
So
Well
thanks
said.
for letting me have him on.
Yeah, I appreciate you being on, Ken. Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, everybody's entitled to our opinion. I'm not going to be the one who's going to say your opinion is right or wrong. Look, it's your opinion. I have no problem with you sharing your opinion. And you're right. You see FC Cincinnati differently than I do. I see it differently than Brian does. I mean, that's just the way it is. So,
hey, the way I look at it is the Emperor's had no clothes earlier, and now he has a T-shirt on. Does that mean it's better?
Can we please use this in like our new intro? Like Emperor's got new clothes. He's got a T-shirt on.
Maybe
now.
that should be in the review too. Emperor has new clothes.
No
Sitting-
clothes. No clothes.
Sitting on a bidet.
And for anybody who doesn't understand that reference, because I know there might be some young people, that means people are too afraid to critique the Emperor, even though he's naked, and therefore they let him do whatever he wants. He needs to be critiqued. Just that's all. Be mindful of that thought.
Yeah.
So,
I appreciate your thought.
or the Emperor tells them what to do. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. All right. Final thought, Brian. It was good to have you back, man. I've missed you, buddy.
My hairline's receding in this video. I'm not loving that, pal.
you have hair?
Oh God, I know. No, I had my daughter's 4th birthday this weekend. We got a bounce house and had fun. Now.
Oh, that's right. I
it's
forgot. Yeah. Your daughter shares a birthday with my twins.
That's
That
right.
was yesterday.
Kids, man, I'll tell you what, gotta love them. No, good stuff, Ken. I 100% agree with that and added my little bit. I wasn't contradicting you. I just added my little bit. So have fun on there. Be respectful, whatever. I'm going to disagree with you, say things, whatever on Twitter. I'm done with, trying to hide or pull punches. I'm not trying to force punches, but I mean, things need to be said. Things need to be said. So I echo all your thoughts. Twitter on FC Cincinnati land right now has been interesting. Facebook, I love Cliff's posts sometimes actually, but yeah, so it's been fun. But guys, just enjoy it. Just keep trying to enjoy the ride. We're not here to be successful, to be millionaires, whatever. Like honestly, we started CST just to get information out, and it grew. And we're just trying to have fun. So enjoy it. Love you guys.
I appreciate you, buddy. I love you too, buddy. I've
The
missed
hope
you.
that kills you. It's the God. I keep pointing the wrong side. I got to get my weather person.
There you
stuff.
go. Looks good.
I
Appreciate you being on, buddy.
Yeah, sorry I was late.
No, you're good. I mean, I can say that Boston's never been late, but he just shows up right before 9. But I kid because I care, buddy. I thank you for being on. I really do appreciate you being here. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. I know you have a lot of better things to do. You could do on a Monday night rather than watch us sit here and yap about soccer, but we love doing it. We do this for fun. We want folks to enjoy. So if there's something about what we do that you like or dislike, let us know. Feedback at CincinnatiSoccerTalk.com. We're always, wanting feedback and letting us know how we're doing. If you're not happy with the show, you're unhappy, again, hit us up. We want to hear from you. Like I said, I do this for fun. And you probably notice I don't tweet a whole lot. I really don't. I don't get out there and tweet, mainly because you're right. I try to avoid all the drama. I try to avoid all the BSness. So I'm trying that. Occasionally I'll probably fire off a tweet that I shouldn't, but I'm genuinely trying to avoid all of that. So I'm not trying to contribute to any problems. I'm not trying. We're not trying to do that. We just want to have fun. We want to talk about soccer. We want to talk about this club, and we want to see wins and success. That's all we want. And on that note, it's time we get out of here. My thanks to Brian Weigel and Ken Hetker for joining me this week. Make sure you check out March to Match Day a little bit later on this week. And of course, Talking Tactics with Coach Goff. And hopefully Justin Hoyt will be back with us this week. All right, that's going to do it for this episode of CST. I'm Nick Serberling, reminding you to watch your tackles, and we will see you all next week.